The situations portrayed in this program are very dangerous. They have been performed by trained professionals in order to replicate worst-case scenarios of real-life hazards. Viewers should not, under any circumstances, attempt to replicate any of the situations presented in the program. Coming up on House Hazards. Items meant to protect you from danger are put to the test. A fire extinguisher
In 3, 2,
gets red hot. And a panic room designed for safety
Dan, I suggest you back away from the door.
is put in the line of fire. Home, sweet home. Well, not as sweet as you might think. Your house is really out to get you. There are thousands of hazards hiding in every home, and our team of experts will separate the fiction from the facts so you can avoid domestic meltdown. Scientist Francesca will expose the hidden dangers lurking in every home. Engineer Dan will show you how everyday appliances can turn from labor-saving to life-threatening. And special effects expert Brendan will recreate the worst-case scenario. The Panic Room. A fortified space designed and built to protect you and your loved ones from intruders. But with a price tag running as high as $500,000, the Hazard team wants to ensure this isn't a danger in disguise.
So we've been seeing a lot of hazards that come from inanimate object or from inside your home. But we haven't looked at one very important hazard. Hazards from outside your home, from other people. That's why I've decided to make a DIY panic room made out of stuff that pretty much everybody has at their disposition. Some cinder blocks, a little bit of cement, some rebar, and an old fridge door. This is my fortress. Nothing's getting through this.
In North America, there are over 1,000 home invasions every day.
Are you ready?
So ready.
All right.
Brendan. Window.
Okay, fine. Cool.
But instead of letting people escape, the panic room locks people up.
You'll never get me in here, criminals!
And only a wall separates them from danger.
Come on, Dan, it's just us.
Who's us?
It's the only two friends you have.
You think that's gonna keep us out here?
Please, try to get in here. I've got cinder blocks and a solid steel door.
Dan, we're gonna show you why this is a hazard.
I dare ya.
Pretty sure I could just kick this door open and save us all the effort. Dan, I suggest you back away from the door.
I'm not too worried. Ooh, that tickled. Ooh!
Can I go get my sledgehammer?
Yeah, I'll work on this.
I think Dan has seriously overestimated the strength of his cinder blocks. I'm gonna get in there with nothing more than a sledgehammer. This is gonna work.
Now locked inside, Dan is in a tight spot. His only option? Wait for Brendan and Francesca to give up or break in. Before locking himself up, Dan sat down with Brendan to enjoy a cookout.
How do you like your marshmallow?
I like a nice golden brown. My grandfather taught me how to roast marshmallows.
Did he?
But you know what happens when boys get around a campfire. Nothing good. 74% of camping injuries are campfire related, and their severity depends on what's burning.
This is your typical campfire. It's good for roasting marshmallows and not really all that hard to put out. All you need is a good water fire extinguisher. And that's that. This is a grease fire with motor oil and vegetable oil. Much more hazardous and extremely hard to put out. But you can't put this out with a water extinguisher, so I'm gonna use a CO2 extinguisher. The CO2 will displace the oxygen, choking the fire. And that's that.
With the right extinguisher for the right fire, 80% of all fires can be put out without involving the fire department. But what about those objects that don't just burn? They explode.
Whoa, you want to put shotgun shells in the fire?
Yes, I do.
A shotgun shell is a plastic casing filled with an explosive material called cordite, tiny steel balls, and a primer. When the primer is struck, it ignites the cordite. The cordite expands, pushing the steel balls through the chamber of the shotgun, firing them in the direction the gun is pointed. By putting the ammunition in the fire, effects expert Brendan is leaving them free to explode in any direction.
You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, dude. Here we go.
This seems like a dumb thing to do, and it is. But this is what can happen when ammunition is kept unlocked and not safely stored. Brendan's shotgun shells are now resting in a fire burning anywhere between 300 and 600 degrees Celsius. As soon as the plastic casing melts, the cordite will instantly explode.
That one's pointed right at us.
Then we should be careful.
Just like gunpowder, cordite is called a low explosive because its explosion velocity is slower than the speed of sound, and its force dissipates quickly. It may not be fast, but the pellets are still red hot and could easily take out an eye.
We're seeing some shot all over the deck, but in the end, not really that hazardous.
Sort of hazardous. It's molten balls of red hot metal.
Please, all you did was damage our furniture with this. This is not hazardous.
Do better.
Oh, I'll show you.
Like the young pyros across North America responsible for over 11,000 blazes a year, Brendan and Dan are pushing the limits of what you can put into a campfire.
There you go.
Were you gonna put it out?
No, fire extinguisher in the fire. That's a hazard. Bring in the blast shield!
Home fire extinguishers aren't just safety devices, they're also pressurized gas canisters that expand when heated. And Dan wants to know if this could make them lethal.
So I think we need to get the fire at about 500 degrees Celsius to get the best blow out of this thing.
What's it at now?
I'm seeing 400,
490 I saw there.
490.
I'll get it a little hotter. Is that hot enough?
Plenty hot.
How about a little bigger?
We're off the scale. We're good.
A little bigger?
No, we're fine.
Little tiny bit bigger?
We're good.
You sure?
We've got our 500. No problem.
Okay.
Ready, Brendan?
I'm ready.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
For each degree the canister climbs in temperature, the pressure inside rises by a factor of 10.
Well, on the which was scarier scale, I still say shotgun shells.
Special effects expert Brendan's superheated shotgun shells could easily have caused serious bodily injury.
Those fire extinguishers you keep next to your stove, you can keep them there safely for a reason.
Because this extinguisher uses a plastic nozzle, the pressure couldn't build to its explosive potential. Had this been an industrial extinguisher with a stronger nozzle, this could have been a much more violent explosion. Allow Dan to demonstrate. Using the same experiment as before, Dan is going to put out an electronics fire.
Now in this fire, I'm gonna have some lithium batteries. This is a combustible metal, and once it gets going, there's not a whole lot that can put it out. So I'm gonna need a special foam extinguisher.
The foam is designed to smother the fire, preventing oxygen from further fueling the reaction that burns up the electronics.
Now normally fire extinguishers are canisters under pressure. Instead of pressurizing this one, I'm gonna give it a sudden burst of pressure with a black powder bomb that I've waterproofed.
Under normal pressure, an industrial extinguisher has a constant force of 195 psi. But the pressure can build up to 2,000 psi, making it more like a missile ready for launch.
In 3, 2, 1. Now, this may not be the traditional way of using a fire extinguisher, but it got the job done.
When the canister explodes, it releases foam all over the fire, snuffing it out. Brendan and Francesca have a job to finish too. Dan is walled up inside a panic room.
Ooh, that tickled.
Brendan has a test to see how well those walls hold up.
I'm really not worried. I built this panic room out of cinder blocks and cement and rebar. Those walls can take 4,000 PSI. I doubt that any of them can muster up that kind of strength. Bring it!
All right, knock, knock.
Who's there? I'm sorry?
Cinder blocks are impossible to make without cracks and air bubbles. So builders compensate by using iron rods called rebar, which are then encased in concrete. Very difficult to break.
Brendan! Brendan!
What?
I want to try.
You guys are gonna be at this all day.
Shut up, Dan!
Frankie, Frankie, this is taking too long.
Look, we're like an inch in.
There's got to be a quicker way. What if we tried going through the door
With a shotgun.
with the shotgun? Can we get a shotgun?
I got a shotgun.
Let's get the shotgun. Okay.
We're coming for you, Dan.
Whoa.
Brendan and Francesca have set their sights on the lock, which they'll attack from the safety of another room.
All right, beautiful.
But Dan and the panic room meant to protect him are now directly in the line of fire.
All right. I'm coming out.
The situations portrayed in this program are very dangerous. They have been performed by trained professionals in order to replicate worst-case scenarios of real-life hazards. Viewers should not, under any circumstances, attempt to replicate any of the situations presented in the program. An electric fence is the first line of defense against unwelcome guests. Some use enough power to stop a human heart, so you better be sure it's not you that's getting electrified.
This is my store-bought electrical fence. It's powered by a 12-volt DC battery.
When a person touches the fence, the current enters the body, forcing skeletal muscles to contract, and the person can't let go. But Brendan's fence has a regulator, which pulses the current, allowing the person to release his grip.
Gives you a shock, doesn't kill you.
What will kill you is Dan's DIY fence here, which he's built without that regulator. It's a deadly modification that some homeowners make.
If you complete the circuit on this fence, you're gonna end up lighting up like that light bulb.
And human electrocution isn't the only hazard. Any brush, grass, even garbage that touches a fence is a potential fire hazard to property, both outside and in. To prove it, Francesca's placing metal rakes full of highly flammable grasses and herbicides on top of each fence. If the metal sparks, the grasses can easily ignite.
Gentlemen, start your fences.
I don't know about that, dude. That looks so makeshift, I can't see that doing anything.
That's exactly why it's hazardous. I'm surrounded by exposed wire without a regulator and 12 volts DC running through it.
In the same way the pulsing current in Brendan's consumer fence prevented electrocution, it's also keeping it from igniting the debris. But how much of a threat is Dan's DIY fence?
We've got some smoldering.
Okay.
Well, it caught fire.
Okay.
That's a fire.
Okay, that's a fire. This is not so much a fire.
In only a matter of seconds, Dan's homemade electric fence was powerful enough to create a grass fire that's not only a hazard to everything outside, but also anyone unfortunate enough to be inside.
How are you gonna get out of that?
Maybe you should get in.
Maybe that's my cue to leave. Good luck with that.
Brendan and Francesca are trying to prove that a panic room can be compromised. And they've brought along some serious firepower to do it.
It's go time.
Their shotgun is aimed directly at the lock mechanism of the door. If they break it, they get in. Plus, anyone locked inside would be a sitting duck because the gun is also pointed right at them.
All right, ready?
Yeah. Hopefully, it'll blast straight through.
Oh, sorry.
I see a hole through at least the first layer of the door.
Oh, no!
Oh, it's all the way through. This door is still pretty locked, though, eh?
The shotgun blast penetrated both sides of the steel door. But if anyone was still alive inside, they'd be secure. The lock held up.
So we shoot it again and shoot the lock.
It's kind of blind luck. We'll just shoot it, shoot it, and shoot it till we happen to get the lock.
And the problem with that is?
I have a better idea. Okay, bring it in.
Undeterred, Brendan is turning up the pressure, and anyone left inside is about to be flushed out. In the meantime, Francesca has an easier way to pick a lock, and it involves some unlikely tools.
I've just put my sandwich inside this lockbox. I've locked it up with 2 different kinds of padlocks, and I could use the keys to open it, or I could show you some interesting ways to get into these locks.
Padlocks have a shackle, a chamber, and a locking mechanism connected to a lever. To open the lock, the lever must be pulled back, releasing the shackle from the chamber. Whether a key is used or something else, the lock will only open if the lever is moved out of the way.
I'm gonna show you how to open this lock with just a pop can.
Although it might seem impossible, Francesca only needs to cut a tiny piece off the pop can and it turns into a lockpick.
And the important part here is that you have a little tab sticking out the top. Fold it in half. And then I'm gonna jam this little tab into the space between the lock base itself and the latch. And then you do the same for the other side.
With both the tabs and the lock cylinder, all Francesca has to do is rotate them to move the lever and release the shackle.
1 lock down, 1 to go.
Earlier, Francesca picked a padlock with nothing more than an empty pop can.
1 lock down, 1 to go.
Now, she'll try the same thing using compressed air.
The second one, I'm gonna open up using this gas duster. It has compressed air that you use to clean electronic equipment. When you turn it upside down, it releases fluorocarbons, which come out at -60 degrees Celsius, freezing anything it comes into contact to. So I'm gonna spray directly into the key insertion point. Now that the lock is all frosty, I'm gonna hit it with a chisel and a hammer so that when I hit it, it breaks the pins and releases the lock. I need a bigger hammer. Back up. Small hammer didn't work, big hammer didn't work, so now I'm gonna use a socket wrench. Oh! Bam, that is incredible. Next time you go to lock up your valuables, think about the fact that all it took was a pop can or can of duster spray to blow this thing open.
It seems nothing's as secure as you might think. Brendan has a job to finish of his own, and he's come up with an idea on how to flush Dan out of his hiding place.
This is an industrial high-pressure washer. It shoots water at 40,000 PSI. It'll cut through steel, rock, concrete. I don't think Dan's panic room is gonna be much of a challenge.
What is he gonna bring back to try and get through this?
You guys should get back.
Are you kidding me?
Now, did you get a pressure washer?
Now. I mean it, get back.
Brendan will attempt to use a high-pressure washer, a tool used to remove paint and grime and for demolition, which is exactly what Brendan has in mind.
I can smell your defeat.
By shooting water at over 40,000 psi right at the door, Brendan is creating the same effect as erosion does in nature, except a lot faster.
He's cutting through metal with water. I can see an outline. I think he's about halfway through now. You know what? Maybe he's through this sheet side, but it's one sheet of metal, insulation, and then another sheet of metal. So he might actually only be through the first sheet.
He's cut through almost the whole door. Oh, it's coming loose.
Yeah, that front panel's coming off.
Oh, just hit it.
Oh, it's coming off!
Oh, amazing.
Oh, my panic room.
That was nuts. That was fun, though, eh?
That's amazing.
The pressure washer was set at what, 5,000 PSI?
40,000 PSI.
40,000 PSI.
But look at this. You see that?
Yeah. It actually ate through the cinder blocks and chewed through my shelving unit.
Yeah.
You got in the room.
Did you hear that, Brendan? One more time. I missed it.
You got in the room.
We're in.
There's no such thing as an impenetrable room. Given the right tools, someone's gonna get in. What you gotta consider is, are you locking danger out or trapping yourself in?
The situations portrayed in this program are very dangerous. They have been performed by trained professionals in order to replicate worst-case scenarios of real-life hazards. Viewers should not, under any circumstances, attempt to replicate any of the situations presented in the program. Coming up on House Hazards. Mother Nature storms in.
Okay, it's lit.
Francesca drops a bomb in the bathroom. And the team shows how landscaping can turn lethal. Home, sweet home. Well, not as sweet as you might think. Your house is really out to get you. There are thousands of hazards hiding in every home, and our team of experts will separate the fiction from the facts so you can avoid domestic meltdown. Scientist Francesca will expose the hidden dangers lurking in every home. Engineer Dan will show you how everyday appliances can turn from labor-saving to life-threatening. And special effects expert Brendan will recreate the worst-case scenario. The Hazard team is preparing to demonstrate an outdoor threat so dangerous, even the professionals are 23 times more likely to be injured fatally.
Removing a tree from your property can be really dangerous. We're gonna show you just how hazardous it is in 3 steps. Topping a tree, felling a tree, then removing the stump.
The unpredictability of where these giants fall is what makes logging the second most dangerous job in the world.
There's a bunch of hazards involved in topping your own tree. You can get chainsaw kickback, you could fall, and you don't know where the top of that tree is gonna land.
In place of a tree, Dan is using a telephone pole positioned next to a parked car.
The key thing is, I'm in danger, Francesca and Brendan are in danger, and that mannequin sitting shotgun, he's definitely in a hazardous situation.
First, Dan is going to make a front cut, leaving a hinge so that the top of the tree falls forward.
Now we do the back cut!
The target, a direct hit on the car below.
Oh! It missed by like an inch!
You were so
Dan's miss proves how difficult it is to fell a tree safely. Not to be outdone by a log, he's dropping it again.
I think we're rock and roll, man. All right, here it comes.
Pile driver Dan!
3, 2, 1. Timber.
Straight through the windshield.
Falling 30 feet, the treetop impacts the car with the force equivalent to 4,000 pounds. 3 times the weight needed to crush every bone in the human body. Now that the car is kaput,
All right, bring it closer.
Dan and Francesca are going to investigate one of nature's deadliest forces by testing how well their house holds up against hurricane winds.
Maybe
Like a little bit
just
more.
another 3 feet. A little more.
This is gonna be wild.
It's gonna be good. Hurricanes cause $10 billion in property damage every year, and it's one of the biggest hazards that your house can face. So what's the best way of improving your odds?
Some say keeping your windows open during a hurricane will do less structural damage because the wind can travel through unimpeded, while others claim that keeping them shut will protect the interior of your home.
So the question is, windows open or windows closed? Which does more damage during a hurricane?
We've ripped the front doors off the house, found 3 high-powered industrial fans that are blowing into the building. We're gonna add some debris and some water, figure out just how hazardous a hurricane with open windows can be. All right, let's do this! Bring it! Oh! What you got? You got debris? What you got? Bring on the hurricane! What you got? You ain't got nothing! Bring on the hurricane!
This is where I'm gonna be when we turn the fans on. I've got a debris launcher, a variety of debris, and my favorite crew member, Chris. All right, Dan, you ready?
Yes, sir!
All right, guys, we're gonna hit it!
These fans produce wind speeds of 80 miles per hour. The same as a Category 1 hurricane. Strong enough to uproot trees, lift roof shingles, and even topple a mobile home.
Windows open during a hurricane, definitely hazardous. I got hit with a ceiling fan! A ceiling fan! I got beat up, the room got beat up.
Our hurricane lasted minutes. In reality, hurricanes can last for days. It's a safe bet the inside of the house would be totaled.
So now we'll get the windows back on, move all this stuff outside, reset the room, see how hazardous it can be to have those same winds blowing on closed windows.
It's gonna be wild.
The Hazard team is testing how best to protect your home during a hurricane. Keeping the windows open left the living room in shambles. Next up, closed windows.
This is my Daniken. Basically a relatively exact replica of myself, down to chiseled jaw and rock-hard skull.
This mannequin will function as Dan's stunt double and show you what could happen to anyone taking shelter behind glass in a hurricane.
Okay, everybody, fans coming up!
The fans quickly fire up 80-mile-per-hour winds, but the windows hold up. But it's debris, not wind, that causes the most damage in a hurricane. So Dan and Francesca are adding some of their own. One of the deadliest, a 15-pound 2x4. Come hurricane time, These beams can become lethal missiles. Traveling at 100 miles per hour, they easily punch through drywall, brick, even steel. So let's see how Dan's double fares.
That was insane!
Man, that's a hurricane! Oh my God, there's glass everywhere.
The tricycle! Dan, this is insane.
The high-speed camera reveals how the mannequin was completely impaled by the 2x4. Had it been a real human, this blow absolutely would have been fatal.
With the windows in, or without the windows, it was equally as dangerous.
In the end, whatever Mother Nature's throwing at you, you're not going to be able to escape it. You can try to close your windows, you can open your windows. In the end, you're better to just board them up and get out.
Absolutely.
Back outside, the hazard team still has a lot of tree to get rid of, and all the risky business that goes along with it.
Dan had his turn. He nipped the top off the tree. Now it's my turn, and I'm taking the whole thing down.
All right, so how do you want to do this?
With the chainsaw.
Just cut it down.
All right, well, we've already demonstrated property damage with this, but if you want to show damage to the lumberjack, we need to show maximum kickback.
Kickback happens in the final moments of felling a tree. Once the tree falls to the ground or hits another object in its path, it can launch back with lethal force. Brendan and Dan are adding a guide rope.
Got it!
To help dial in the location of the kickback. Francesca's goal is for the tree to fall on the fence. When this happens, the force should redirect, launch backwards, and take out their lumberjack friends.
Miss Francesca, here's your chainsaw.
Thanks, Ann.
Chainsaw in hand, she's ready to bring it down. Francesca first cuts a wedge on the side of the pole that faces the direction she wants it to fall. Then, she makes the back cut.
Francesca!
We've got mannequins in the front! We've got mannequins in the back!
How do you directly miss all three of them?
It may look like the team has been outfoxed by a piece of wood, but the kickback was a success, flying back with enough force to fracture a person's skull.
So close!
Cannot believe that.
Again, the experiment proves how unpredictable chopping down a tree can be, and shows just what it means to come within an inch of your life.
We didn't have any kickback. We missed the car.
They're obviously frustrated, but Brendan is on a mission to finish the job they started.
I'm blowing up the stump.
The situations portrayed in this program are very dangerous. They have been performed by trained professionals in order to replicate worst-case scenarios of real-life hazards. Viewers should not, under any circumstances, attempt to replicate any of the situations presented in the program. Sometimes, hazards literally fall right out of the sky. And while the odds are 1,000,000,000 to 1 it'll happen, there's not much you can do if an object from space comes to visit your home.
A meteor is a sand to boulder-sized particle floating around in space. Once it enters the Earth's atmosphere, it becomes a meteoroid. Once it hits the Earth, it becomes a meteorite.
Everybody agrees that a meteor hitting your house is a huge hazard. It's a giant piece of space rock hurtling at super high speeds. So what we want to do today is show you just how hazardous it is.
What are we gonna make our meteor out of?
Big rock?
Bowling ball.
Perfect.
That's perfect.
To mimic the speed of a meteoroid, The team is setting up a pressurized air cannon on the roof of the house. This will release a large blast of air and launch the bowling ball directly towards the roof.
The air cannon will be mounted to this ramp, which will give us the trajectory of our meteor.
When a meteor is traveling through the vacuum of space, it can reach speeds of 70 kilometers per second. However, just like shooting a bullet into water, when it enters our atmosphere, it rapidly decreases its speed and reaches its terminal velocity, somewhere around 200 to 300 kilometers per hour. This air cannon is going to give that bowling ball just the right amount of speed that a normal meteor would have when it hits your house.
This is our meteorite. It's a bowling ball wrapped in a burlap sack. We are gonna shove this up the air cannon and send the sucker through the middle of the house. All right, guys, we're about to do this. Everybody get down. In 3, 2, 1.
The bowling ball blasts through the roof, violently displacing the gravel, continuing to punch a hole through the tar, wood, and insulation of the second floor ceiling.
Oh man, that's a mess.
Punched
Excellent.
right through.
I'd call that a success.
Yeah.
Very big success.
Clearly, a giant hole in the roof means the meteor is a hazard. The question is, just how hazardous is it?
Moving on from Brendan's confirmation of the obvious, the team wants to establish just how much damage it has done.
There's the hole!
Oh,
Right on.
Oh, yeah!
no! Did it go into the basement?
Awesome. Down to the basement.
It's in there!
Ah!
Bowling ball through what? 1, 2 ceilings.
Can you imagine how that got lodged there while it was still hot? And this floor would already be on fire before you even knew it.
If this was a real meteor, it'd be burning at about 1,600 degrees Celsius, so it would have started a fire in here, no problem.
The bowling ball meteor packed a punch from the roof to the basement.
I think it's fair to say if a meteorite hits your house, you are not safe anywhere.
Objects falling from the sky, definitely hazardous. But Brendan's next problem is firmly rooted in the earth.
Anybody can fell a tree. Anybody can top a tree. The real challenge is getting rid of the stump. The stump is difficult to remove because of this elaborate root structure. It's as big under the ground as it is above the ground. And all those roots are just holding on to the earth.
Brendan uses a pickaxe to separate the tree's trunk from its root system.
Maybe he's getting rid of, like, excess angst and rage.
But the roots are incredibly tough. Even upgrading to a chainsaw.
He's on a mission, which makes me a little freaked out.
Is no match for the web of roots below. Refusing to be stumped by the stump, Brendan's going straight to the explosive solution. The last thing you want to think about when you're in the bathroom is what could go wrong. But with 2.3 million North American toilets recalled due to risk of explosion in a single year, your toilet might not be as safe as you think. Some toilets use a high-pressure system to pump water. In some instances, air can seep into the tank and become compressed, and if that pressure becomes too high and can't escape, the next time you flush, the toilet explodes. It's a perfect storm kind of situation, but it does happen. To recreate this here, they need a pressure substitute.
What if I had a little friend called Boom?
Yeah, that'll solve your problem. Okay, it's lit.
Oh, it is gone!
As the powder bomb explodes, it produces oxygen and other gases, creating a sudden increase of pressure inside the toilet, causing it to burst into 1,000 pieces.
That toilet went bye-bye! Now, granted, this is much bigger than when a pressure-assisted toilet blows up, but you can definitely see how hazardous that shrapnel is. That ceramic is razor sharp.
Dan and Francesca made the crapper go kaboom. Now it's Brendan's turn. He's given up the tools and has a new plan to get his stump to blast off.
I've tried taking an axe to these roots. I took my chainsaw to these roots. It goes through the small ones. The big ones are just too tough. It's time for Plan E. Explosives.
Brendan is loading the stump with black powder charges.
8 bombs? Oh, no. He's really, really getting rid of that stump.
To rip it from its roots for good. Extreme as this may seem, it's an actual landscaping tactic. And it's a dangerous one. DIY gardening lands 400,000 people in the emergency room every year. A handful of them for doing this very thing.
I thought I set the timer for like 30 seconds. I may have set it for like 3 minutes. I can't explain it. It should have blown by now.
I feel like a sitting duck, like it could go any second.
Excellent.
The explosives ignite, simultaneously shredding the stubborn root system and the stump itself. As the smoke clears, the team comes in to assess the damage.
Here, Brendan, there's your trophy!
Probably like, what, 30, 40 pounds of wood?
That flew directly up when the black powder went off and landed how many meters away?
That's probably 80 feet.
Okay, that's a little satisfying.
There you go.
This is where people get themselves into trouble because they underestimate how much is actually under the soil.
It's like an iceberg.
Even
10%.
you underestimated it.
I did. I think I need more time with the chainsaw and then a lot more black powder.
So I think we've pretty much shown how hazardous trees can be.
Well, it's not the tree that's the hazard, it's people taking it upon themselves to get rid of something this enormous. It needs to be left to the professionals.
Yeah.
Well, I think it depends on the tree.
The tree has proven a worthy contender for the hazard team. They dropped it, felled it, took an axe and chainsaw to it, but in the end, only explosives could take it out.
I underestimated this completely.
I think we've pretty much shown how hazardous trees can be.
You can cut your own grass, you can trim your own bushes, you can do some of your own landscaping. But when you get up against something like this, maybe leave it to a professional.